Hi everybody, thanks for watching my video. I would appreciate if anybody subscribes to my channel so that I can post more how-tos. It's motivation for me too. I am going to just show you how I did these glow-in-the-dark paintings, which if you saw my postings in Facebook, on some of the Facebook pages that I'm a part of, you'll have a better idea of what it looks like. But for the video, doing the lighting, it's very difficult because I want enough light so you'll see what I'm doing, but it's too much light to really get what the glow effect does. But hopefully you get the idea. And then this one. You'll notice that some of the colors actually reflect glow more versus some of them. Like the blue turns out more white, but then there's colors like the bottom of here that turn out black. So those greens in the light come up black with the black light. So it is a lot of playing around with the colors and seeing what happens with them, because even though they might not be labeled glow in the dark, they really do come up pretty darn well with the black light. I found that the glow in the darks are more reflective. The glow in the dark paints. Now, when they say glow in the dark paint, I tried painting stuff with them and putting them underneath a lamp, underneath the sunlight, and with this UV black light flashlight that I have several attempts, and then I brought it to a closet and none of them glowed. So I don't know what's up with that. Somebody told me it has to be a really strong black light in order for it to and you have to hold it under for a while. The sun, the lamp, whatever didn't work. So I'm considering these black light paints. So I have the purple and the orange. That's what I used, these purple and the oranges. I'm going to put them aside. And the pinks by Appleberry, those are by FOLKART, the glow-in-the-dark ones. These two, FOLKART. The pink ones, I use Fuchsia and Candy Pink by Appleberry, and they do come up. They're not marketed as glow-in-the-dark or blacklight paints, but they do come up in the black light very well. So I use those. And then for the background, I've been using blue with a little bit of hint of the purple in there. And the purple is the glow-in-the-dark color. Just by mixing it up a little bit with these other colors, made it pop more in the black light. So how I did this background. So first of all, this is a Santorini Rock. And because I want a circle, and I already painted the background on this one, I didn't want to go through every little step on it, and I wanted this to dry a little bit to show you how I did the circle. I just used a cup, drew a line with pencil. What's great about these Santorini rocks, I don't know if anybody knows who hasn't tried these rocks before, know this. Pencil erases so nicely on these rocks. And I didn't, for them being white, I was nervous about that. The pencil does smear a little bit on them, but it erases off perfectly. So I let that dry a little bit. And I did use masking tape, and I'm taking it off. Now, you'll see that it's not a perfect circle. I know some people are able to be detailed orientated and make that a really nice smooth circle. That's not my thing. I'm not a detail orientated person when it comes to that. Hence why I made a border around these. It was my way of, if you can see, I put the dots, and what I used for the dots was a dotting tool. So anyway, so I painted it. What I used to paint the background is I used this flat brush. It's a very smooth brush. And on one side I put white, and the other side I put purple. And then I kind of just dipped it in the different blues. And I made sure the brush, the purple, was sitting on the bottom, and I just brushed my way up. And somehow that's how it turned out. Sometimes I make it happen very fast, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I have to add more white on the top, blue. There's other techniques where you just put, you know, the dark blue, a little bit of paint here, and then you just smear it all the way up or down. Anyway, so that's what I did. I wanted to start with that. What I use, let's see, I'm going to put this blue away because now I am going to, which one should I paint? This one or this one? I think I'm going to paint this flower one because then I can show you the dotting tool that I use, how nicely it turns out. So before, like I said, the pinks did turn out glow in the dark. So I'm going to put some of this cotton pink. They turn out a little bit different from each other, the cotton pink and the fuchsia. Not only in regular, when the lights are on, when it's light out, but also turns out a little bit different when you put the black light on there too. So there's some of the orange fuchsia, and I'm going to put some purple. Oh, I already have some purple there. So those are the colors that I'm going to use, and I bought a set of these. If anybody likes, make a comment in below, and I'll put a link in the description as to which ones I bought. I bought probably the cheapest ones I could find on eBay, and they're perfectly good. I wouldn't necessarily say the more expensive ones in this scenario are better quality. I know that acrylics, oftentimes, the actual paint, there's better quality than the cheaper ones, but I've been fine with these. So I've continued. I've gotten used to them too much. So I am going to use, to start, actually, you know where I got these? They were dotting tools for nails. So people who are like nail art, you know, that put nail polish on, that's what they use, are these. So if you look up them that way, I think they came up cheaper. So I'm going to use this size. It came with a bunch, like 15 of them. And out of these two, this is the smallest. And I'm going to just dip that in there. And I am doing 5 dots. 1, 2, and I got to redip it, else they get in varying sizes too much. And again, these are going to be glow in the dark. And I'm going to kind of spread them out proportionately as best as I can. And I try and do anything like flowers in odd numbers. So I won't just put 2 flowers in. I have to do 5. And same thing with petals. You have to do 5 petals. While I was saying that, I was thinking 4, and I put 4. That's okay. It's not perfect. Those are kind of meshed together a little. I'm going to take this and see if I can pull some of the paint away. No, better to just not touch it too much, because then it just gets worse. Okay, now I'm going to take the small one, and I'm going to do small flowers. 2, 3, 4, and 5. One, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There's 6. I'm going to put one more. So I have 3 big ones, 4 small ones, 7 total, which is that even, or that odd number. And then I'm going to go back. I rinse this off in the water that I have over here in my rag that I have been using for a while now. And it still works, and I'll probably use it for another month yet before I throw it away. So I'm going to turn to the bigger one that I need to rinse off more. And I'm going to go to the pink, the bright pink, candy pink. Now normally I would be putting a light on here every now and then to see how the different colors are showing up, which you can't really see on your end, unfortunately, but I guess that's the way the cookie crumbles. Okay, so now I have the 3 larger ones, and I'm going to take the smaller brush and make a couple smaller ones. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need one more. Alright, now I'm going to go to the orange. Actually, I'm going to make it the purple. And what I noticed with the purple in the background is it comes up very 3D looking when I put the light on here. And again, you can't see, but on my side, the purple looks like it's far away, and the pink looks like it comes closer. And of course, that coloring, just in general, it's like red light, green light. The red light looks like it comes up closer, and the green light looks like it's further away. There's a reason why they use that, is because the way it's perceived, one looks farther away than the other. But in this scenario, the purple does look farther away. Typically, darker colors do, and lighter colors don't. But in the black light, it's even more predominant. So because things far away are often smaller looking, I'm going to use only the small brush for the purple one. It's like these need to be reloaded probably every time, but sometimes I just don't have the patience to keep going back and forth, and I try and push it further. One thing that I do like that it slowly goes smaller and smaller for the dots is if I'm doing like a sun, and I do dots away from it, then I can do them like big to small. Oh, you can't really see that on there, can you? Ruckus, ruckus, ruckus. Let me do it on this black. See how it's getting smaller and smaller? You can use that to your advantage. I've done sunsets where there's one big white dot in the middle, and then I've taken this and I've dotted until the paint ran out and it got smaller and smaller dots, and then I would switch colors, sunset colors. Let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, there's 5. I'll stick with 5 because I want to get some orange in there. Now, orange in the black light turns out the brightest. The pink, you can really see the pink. The fuchsia, you can see the fuchsia, and it is duller. But the orange in the regular light is kind of a blah orange. You can see it. It's not that pretty. And that's actually not that thin of paint. When you're doing the dotting tool, it does put a decent amount on it in comparison to a brush. If you just like brush stroked it, it's very transparent. Or I'll even show you how transparent it can be. Oh, that's not in the video. Let's see. You see that? It's pretty transparent, but when you use the dotting tool, it fills up pretty well and puts it pretty solid. So the color of this orange glow paint from FOLKART, the fluorescent glow, I wouldn't say is the prettiest orange by any means, the brightest orange, but in the black light, it shines. It's like really bright. It loses some of the orange color with the black light, but it really it's just bright. It's a bright, bright orange. Like the sun, how it glows. So even though I don't really like this color in the light with this color scheme, I am going to add some. But I'm going to do them again, the smaller dots, just because I don't think it's as pretty. And I'm only going to put 3. Actually, I'm going to take a look at what 3 look like. Now, I do think that I need 2 more. Okay, now that I'm sitting here and I have this stuff on top of me, I do have a smaller dotting tool that I wish I had. Well, look at that, I only put 3 actual dots on that one. I should have just left it to 3, maybe. I just put a couple extra dots around it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just try and do this very lightly here, so that the dots come up smaller. Oh, and here's another thing. You'll see that my flowers are really the bigger ones are at the bottom, the lighter ones, or the smaller ones are on top. And that is a technique where you put some of the heavier objects, if you will, lower in the picture, and the lighter, if you will, or smaller. So smaller things look lighter in weight. Bigger things look heavier in weight. So the natural thing to do is in nature is heavier things go down, lighter things go up. And I use that in this. While I'm doing this one, I'm not doing this one very well, I have to admit, but it's a lot easier when I'm just in full focus and not trying to talk and not try to do the video to pay attention. And I'm hoping that you get the gist, and by me explaining what I did, you'll be able to focus and put some of the bigger ones at the bottom, the tinier ones at the top. And I liked doing, I can even put more even further up top. I liked having this negative space. This is what I mean by negative space. The blue, the green, all this blue is negative space, versus the positive space is the actual flowers or trees, plants, in flowers. So I like having that negative space. Maybe I'll try something different and fill it up a little bit further with more of these smaller ones on top, because I just think that it looks more balanced, more naturally balanced. You could see the difference when it's all this heavy stuff versus the heavy, and then it gets lighter on the top. So I'm just going to see if I can add some more of these tiny ones on top. It's going to wind up being a different design. I was going to do something similar to this one, but because it's bulky, and what I just realized too is it's a smaller, I did a smaller circle on a smaller rock. So busy paying attention on the how-to video that I missed that. So because this edge on this, around this circle is driving me nuts, I'm going to take this gold, metallic gold. It's the pure gold by FOLKART. I'm going to take that one, and that's what I'm going to use as my border. I like this gold border better than this black border. This one's actually black. The last one's a dark blue. But I do like this gold much better. And that's all, I guess, personal taste. I've always liked gold better than even silver. When everyone was doing silver, I was doing gold. Now people are starting to do gold. I wonder if I'll go silver more now. But I haven't yet. I just like the way it looks. And see, now that I'm putting that border around it, on the actual line, it's covering, while I'm doing that, I'm covering up the more rigid portions of the line as best as I can to hide them. You know what, I should mention that I sell these Santorini rocks in flat rate boxes. So if anyone's ever interested, I'm very cheap on them. I fill them up as much as I can, and I'm very competitive, if not more competitive than most people in terms of the actual rocks. So if you want some of these cool Santorini rocks to paint on, I get a shipment in, a huge shipment of them from Greece, so I have really good pricing on them. If you're interested, shoot me an email or put a comment in the comments saying that you're interested, and I'll reply with my email address, and I'll have my email address in the description as well, hopefully sooner than later. In the meantime, it's rockadventuring@gmail.com. So if you're interested in any of those, please reach out. I'd be very, very happy to send them over to a box of them over to you and give you the pricing on them. I think it comes out to, depending on the size rock, like let's say $1, about the size. It's going to vary because the different size rocks that come over. As you can see, different sizes. So there's my border. And I'm going to start seeing See how that orange really pops? The purple is more like a lavender in the background. I don't even know how well the video is going to show on people's. So what I do is I put these on these little stands, and they look really cute if you have a black light in the house. But I also have these tiny little tea lights. They have like these tea light size candles, fake candles, if you will, that you can even put on a remote. You see them at people use them at weddings to put them in vases. They even have waterproof ones. And once you put the epoxy, these are waterproof. And then the actual tiny little tea light LED thing is waterproof too. And you can turn them on, and it brightens it up. So just for like these things, which are less than $1, and then the LED little candle light thing, you just put it off to the side and it brightens it up. Just looks really cute. I put it on my table stand, or my end table next to my bed. And I have to admit, I just think it's cute. So what I used for this for the grass is the metallic. And I liked using the metallic as much as possible in these, or any kind of glitter paint, because although it doesn't show up in the black light, I do like putting something that doesn't show up, because it's black, then it blacks it out, which is it's a different dimension with the black light. No, it doesn't glow, but it adds to it much more dimension than if it's just flat. You can see the difference. Having something glow without any green, having something glow with the green. And this one I just so happened to use and test to see if it glowed or not, and it doesn't at all. As you can see, that's what I used here. And so I'm going to put a little bit of the green here. And I'm going to decide, because this one's quirky, if maybe a different view looks better. But I think that that's probably the best view. Actually, for some reason, I kind of like it in a weird way. Lopsided. But that's just, I think that would be very narrow. Okay, and so here's the paintbrush that I use for the grass to get the thin lines. This originally was a paintbrush that had full bristles, but what I did is I cut around it. So once the paintbrush kind of looked like it was going bad, so you leave it in the water or something, like I just did with this one, or I don't wash it off very well. So this is what this one originally looked like. This is brand new. This one is what I turned it into. And what I did is I cut off the bristles. But I did it, when I do it, I twist the brush so that I cut on all ends. Because if I don't cut on all ends, then sometimes it just gets like a little bit of a hook look after some time, which is fine. It's still going to do that a little bit, but it helps. And also, what also helps with this, especially with some of these metallics and these heavier, quite literally heavier paints, is putting a couple dots of water in there to thin it out. Because when the paint is thinner, it's easier to draw thin, consistent lines. So I'm going to try, I have a little bit too much water. So here in this one, I kind of started from the center and I wrapped it around because I wanted to have a certain look to it, especially with the black light. It seems to go a little bit more 3D when my battery is running out on my laptop here, or my tablet. It seems to make it more of a three-dimensional look when it's curved like that. So what I did is I started with from the bottom and I pulled up. And see? I hope you were able to see what I was just doing enough. Now on this first one I got pretty precise. I took and I was like, oh well, that goes here and it goes to this one and it goes all the way up and then it's gonna finally hit this one. Right now I'm not being as precise because there's more flowers in this area, and so the regular eye is just not going to be able to see the precision, and I just don't really like this one as much already. I just like this one better. So there's a couple of things that I just am not a fan of this specific one. I mean, it's still pretty, you know, and it still gives you an idea of what to do. But because I'm going faster than I normally would in the video than I would in real life, I mean, this is going to take me twice as much time, but I have a feeling nobody's going to sit here and watch me twice as long. So I am going faster, but I want to give you what I was doing, and then let you know that I'm paying attention and really going slowly with all of this. Very slow. So twice as slow as what I'm showing you at the least. And then I just noticed, and I didn't put all of the green grass leaves in it, but I took some of the yellow, which does not glow. This yellow doesn't glow. Sunny day. And I'm just gonna put, oops, wrong side. I'm gonna use the yellow for the center of the big one, the big flowers. I mean, it still looks cute. It's totally cute. It's still sellable. I'll still be able to sell this. I'll price it for a little bit lower. Or, you know what I'll do is I'll put this one out, these ones out, and once this one sells, I could put this one out. I try to put my best foot forward and only show my best stuff, but sometimes I do have a booth. Sometimes if it's running low on inventory, I'll just kind of put some of these ones in the background so they're not seen as well, but it doesn't look like people don't feel like, oh, I'm buying the last one. They're still able to find that pretty one, because who has a booth and who buys all the way down to the very last one? Or who sells all the way to the last one? I don't know. I've never gone to a booth and said, with one thing on the table and said, ooh, I want that. I just walk right by it. So there it is. Still cute. I might just do a little bit of extra touch-up work on it. Still cute. it's different, but they always are going to turn out different. So even when you do yours is going to turn out different. You might find something, you might buy other glow in the dark colors and have more options. I just so happen to have these two, and I just so happen to find the pink ones. So that's what I have, that's what I'm using. I think I like this enough to where I'll go and I'll look at what other colors are available, because I am finding it very fun to paint, and I do really like them. I really like looking at them at night with the little glow lamp. Tiny, tiny glow lamp. It's not a full, my room isn't filled with all black light, but super cute. Plus, I have a booth coming over at a high school, and a lot of my other rocks that I sell that are painted, a lot of teenagers, preteens, and college kids. Those are the ones who really like my stuff. I was actually quite surprised. I didn't think that those were going to be my target market, but they've become my target market. Hence why I'm really liking this black light. And I think that they will like the black light too, because they're going to be the ones who are prone to using the black lights more than others. So there's my thought process. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe. I'll be posting more as it continues. I'm not a pro at doing the videos, so I'm doing the best I can. I know that mine can get a little bit long, but I'm really trying to show you exactly what I'm doing and enable you guys to create some beautiful rocks as well. Have a great day. Thank you.